students, how are you? Are you fine? Did you read previous poem? I thought you all understand the song of the ring. Today we are going to learn a new chapter. The name of the chapter was The Listen to the Mountain. This is an play. This was written by Kaveri Nambisan. She is one of the famous novelists and she was born in Karnataka. In this chapter, the writer wants to protect our nature. So here the earth was blessed with the natural resources, trees and plants. In this chapter, the writer providing one of the most villages in Dharmagiri. In Dharmagiri, there are several people who want to protect their environment. They love their nature and they want to protect their village with the natural beauty and they want to protect the natural resources. So this play was set in the village. Did you know in which village? Yeah, Dharmagiri. In this play, there are several characters. One of the main character was grandmother. The most thrilling character is grandmother. Second one, Narayan, the grandson of grandmother. He was a headmaster. Then Ramanna was a tea shopper. Rudrappa and Shastri were the Kannappan were the village men. And the building contractor was Sagar and Dixit was the millionaire of industrialist. Okay, the play was set in a village and in this play there are 5 scenes. 1 and 2 scenes were enacted in front of a curtain and after 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 were enacted after the curtain rise. The background of the curtain we can see several natural resources, trees, plants, mountains were depicted. First scene in front of the curtain. So the grandmothers were hobbles moving to the center of a stage. So the grandmother was moving to the center of a stage and the curtain was closed and they were enacted in front of a curtain. So the grandmother was telling about the beauty of Dharmagiri. She was born in Dharmagiri village as well as when she was born at the time of turn of 5th century. So there was no television, no aeroplanes, no cars, no movies, etc. So they were only enjoyment is that beauty of nature. They want to enjoy and they want to protect their nature. So here the grandmother says that when they were born, they grew up, they married. After that till they were protecting the Dharmagiri village with lots of love. At the time of the childhood days or now itself, grandmother's friend was trees, plants, rivers, all the natural resources such as mountains, etc. were the grandmother's close friends because there is no entertainments in that time of the turn of 5th century. There was no television already. Grandmother said there was no movies, no television, no mobile phones. Today, you know that today in our society, in our generation, we have lot of facilities. So we have no idea or we have no need to protect to think about that the nature or anything else. So at that time, grandmother's time, there is only they want to enjoy the nature of beauty as well as they consider as the God as the village as well as the nature. So here grandson was entering at the first scene. The grandson was, who was grandson? Yeah, the Narayan was the grandson. Grandson was the headmaster of the school. Okay, grandson was meeting Sagar who was the building contractor. He was coming from where? From Bangalore. He was coming from Bangalore and they were talking. Grandson means Sagar and Narayan was talking together and they were talking. After that they were going to plant 2 cups of tea and they were went to Rudrappa and Shastri with the Ramanna's shop. Okay, and I thought you all understand the first scene of this play. So let's read the text. You want to take your text and look these passages or look this first scene. First of all, we can read the autobiography or the profile of the author Kaveri Nambisan. Children, now let's read the profile of the writer. Kaveri Nambisan, an Indian novelist, was born in Palankala village in South Kodagu, Karnataka in a family of politicians. She studied medicine in St. John's Medical College, Bangalore and at the University of Liverpool, inclined. Nambisan's story, Dr. Sad and the Power Lunch was joint runner-up in the third Outlook Picada non-fiction contest in 2003. The story that must not be taught was shortlisted for the DSC Prize for South Asian Literature in 2012 as well as the Man Asian Literary Prize in 2008. She was elected Coorg Person of the Year in 2005. Now let's read first scene. Listen to Mountain, Kaveri Nambisan. The main characters are grandmother, Narayan, school headmaster, Ramana, tea shop owner, Shastri, Kannan, Rudrappa, village man, Sagar, building contractor, Dexit, millionaire, industrialist. The play is set in a village. The background shows what the background shows? Mountains, trees, a river depicting a natural countryside view. Scene 1 and 2 are enacted in front of the curtain. The curtain rises for scenes 2, 3 and 5. Scene 1. Grandmother appears from stage right, hobbles to the center in front of the curtain and speaks to the audience in a slow, deliberate voice. Stage right hobbles to center means grandmother slowly moving to the center of the stage. Grandmother, I am a great grandmother. Here grandmother addressing about herself. I was born at the turn of century when there were no motor cars, no aeroplanes, no television, no movies, much less noise. There is no noises, no disturbance from the outside places because always they were settled in the village. Very peaceful atmosphere. I was born here, grew up, married, had my children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Grandmother lives or grandmother birth on the time of 10th of century. So she had great-grandchildren also. I have lived here all my life. Here in this village on the slopes of Dharmagiri. Where did grandmother lives? Grandmother lives on the slopes of Dharmagiri. The river, trees, flowers, birds and animals are all my friends. Grandmother says very proudly that her friends was who was grandmother's friends? Yeah, trees, mountains, birds, flowers, animals are the friends of grandmother. The river, trees, flowers, birds and animals are all my friends. I have had a tough life. Grandmother had lived very tough life in Dharmagiri, but she was very happy. Now I am almost 90. Now grandmother was at the age of 90. My grandson Narayan is the school headmaster. Who was Narayan? Narayan was the school headmaster. Grandmother great grandson was school headmaster Narayan. He came to me with most shocking news. Shall I tell you about it? Wait, I think you better see what actually happened. She hobbles off the stage. Grandmother's great son Narayan told that he came with a shocking news. Tell that grandmother gone from the stage. After that, Narayan from one side and the other side of the stage, Sagar from the other side. They meet center stage and greet each other. Narayan and Sagar meet at the center of the stage. Narayan, welcome to our village. I am the school headmaster. Sagar from Bangalore, pleased to meet you. Narayan, will you join me for a cup of tea? Mr. Sagar, Ramana's tea shop is just across the road. Please come. Sagar was from Bangalore and Narayan welcoming to his village, and Narayan and Sagar were gone to Ramana's tea shop. Sagar, thank you. And from the last scene, from the scene 1 last is they were going to Ramana's tea shop. Did you clear about the first scene? Okay, you want to read the first scene very carefully. It's very simple. Okay. Children, now let's look to the vocabulary depicting represented by a drawing enacted put to practice. Hobbles walk in awkward way. Children, shall I ask some questions? Who are the characters in the play? Narayan, school headmaster. Ramana, a tea shop owner. Shastri, Kannan, Rudrapava, village mains. Sagar, building contractor. Dixit, millionaire industrialist. Who is the author of this play? Kaveri Nambisan. Children, now let's look to the grammatical content. Conjunction. A word used to connect clauses or sentence or to coordinate words in the same clause. Example, and, but, if. I have had a tough life but a happy one. Children, shall we do an activity? Does the opening scene of the play arouse curiosity in the audience? Substantiate your answer. I will show my version. The opening scene of the play does arouse the curiosity of the readers. The nostalgic narration of grandmother about her past days, references that she mentioned to her life, the description about the beauty of nature, the present shocking news that she heard from her grandson, etc., are quite appealing. All these events, which is described in first scene, to create a curiosity among the shocking news and what happened in the next scene. So children, I thought you all understand the first scene. So you want to read the first scene very carefully. It was very simple. So you do your activities in your notebook and send to your English teacher. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you.